Welcome back to Inside Bikes, where this week we've been riding around on Honda's new for 2023 CL500 Scrambler. CL500 is the fifth model in Honda's range to use the ubiquitous 500cc parallel twin motor. Now, it's been designed especially for A2 license holders, covering just under the maximum allowed power, makes 46 brake horsepower, and it's been used to great success in the three CB500 models, which includes a naked roadster, a sports bike, and also a sort of adventure tourer style bike. It also last year made its debut in the CMX 500 Rebel, and this goes back to the sort of 60s and 70s with a bit of a retro scrambler feel. Now, Honda has largely left the retro scrambler scene alone, leaving it up to now to the Europeans, and mainly in the form of Ducati and Triumph. And actually the CL suffix comes straight out of Honda's back catalogue. The CL500 came out in 1962, so they've been at it a long time, and the CL name was really applied to sort of scramblerized versions of the CB range. So we last saw the CL model designation back in the 70s with the CL350, which was effectively a CB350 with high bars and a high pipe. And that's kind of what they've continued with this. It is the CB500 platform that we have a lot of time and respect for, but given that light scrambler look. And it's kind of what you'd expect. The CB500s are also incredibly accessible. They're designed for new riders, and they make great, easy to ride, lightweight bikes. And this is more the same. You get on it and straight away it feels light. It's light to ride, the clutch is light, the brakes, everything about it feels light and accessible. Standard, it's got a 790mm seat height, and it's quite narrow too, and that makes it really easy to maneuver around. Actually, our bike has got the accessory seat, which is 30mm higher, and even though I'm on the shorter side, it actually still feels very, very manageable. In fact, the test bike that Honda have supplied to us is absolutely loaded with accessories from the Honda range. It's got everything on it. So you've got the hand guards, the tall mud guard, the cowl, it's got the satchel bags on the back. For me personally, I'm not mad keen on all the accessories. I wish they'd given us something standard, because I think the great attraction of scramblers is that they are stripped down and basic. Our bike comes in the blue. Personally, I'm more a fan of the bright orange and the utilitarian military green. But, you know, there's 4 different colours, which is fantastic. Dunlop mixed tour tyres, they've got a bit of an off-road pattern to them, but really they are very much a very good and competent road tyre, and probably as good as, if not better than you would expect on a model of this price. The instrument binnacle is quite simple. It's a round design. There's no rev counter there, but it doesn't really need it. The vibrations from the bike kind of tell you when you need to change up. But you've got a clock, you've got a gear indicator, and of course the speed, which is nice and prominent in there. The ignition key is mounted on the left-hand side, which does feel a little bit odd, but it harks back to the original CL350, or the last CL350, and I think it's a nice touch, and it shows Honda respecting their heritage. I'm not mad keen on the cast wheels, but actually, for a bike of this price, they're probably what you would expect. I think the only accessory we don't have on this bike is the top box, although I think that would really affect the lines quite badly. You've got a 12-litre fuel tank on there, and overall, although it does weigh about 190 kilograms, it feels very light, partly because it's so low to the ground. It's a £6,000 motorcycle, 5,999 to be precise, and if you look at the beautifully appointed Ducatis and Triumphs, it's not quite got that level of detail and attention. The handlebars, for example, they feel a little bit spindly, more like you'd find on a 125, and some of the breather pipes and wiring and tubes are a little bit exposed on it, so it's not quite got that premium finish, but it seems well enough built. Things like the tyres, good quality Dunlop mixed trail tyres on there. It's got decent enough suspension and brakes, not adjustable, not outstanding, but what you'd expect from the CB500 platform, just really easy, works well. Performance is adequate. Around town it's got more than enough. It's really nice and peppy. Where it perhaps lets itself down is when you're on the motorway, but it's the nature of being a small bike. It just gets a little bit buzzy when you're sitting at motorway speeds. It is quick enough for every scenario you can imagine, and I'm sure it's It's probably got a 3-figure top speed in there somewhere. I actually had a lot of fun riding it around the back lanes, and it's really engaging to ride. It's actually more fun than it probably looks, because it's a lot of fun revving it out, and it can really hustle. It actually feels more compliant on those bumpy roads than you perhaps would imagine it to be. But I think ultimately, as a city bike, it really is fantastic, and it looks great too. I've always been a big fan of the CB500 range. They sort of set out to do a job, and they do it really, really well for really good money. And I think the CL500 kind of fits into that bracket. I actually have warmed to it more than I expected. I wasn't mad keen when I saw the bike festooned with all the accessories. I thought it looked a little bit tacky, if I'm being honest. But the more I've ridden it, the more I've really enjoyed it. And I think whether you're a young rider or a new rider looking to get into motorcycling and just want something manageable to get going on with, or you're just a more experienced rider looking for something dead easy to ride, maybe ride around town, I think it's got a lot going for it. This bike's got all the accessories on it, and Honda sell them as sort of different packs. They also do a tour pack, which personally, it's not a bike I'd go touring on, but it is more than competent in most scenarios. It's a little bit buzzy, and the rally pegs on our bike probably don't do any favours to us, because it has got just pure metal. There's no rubber mounting in there, and that doesn't really help with the vibes coming through the pegs. So look, we've really enjoyed riding the Honda CL500. Thanks to Honda for providing us with the bike. On our website, we will have a full review of the bike. Until next time, thanks for watching, and ride safe.